Coming
that if
up
he doesn't
on
recognize your
Sophisticated Mom.
worth and you feel like, okay, I'm a woman worth more than rubies, and he is picking all these lesser gems over me, that's because he does not have the trained eye. He is not classy enough. He does not have enough exposure or training or enough discernment to understand what a real and a fake is. And to him, all of it is the same. And if he can compare a $5 cubic zirconia to a $20,000 gem and think that they are the same, then he don't deserve you no way.
Dedication, preservation, take a look inside, do your salvation, do every good work, it takes patience, like a butterfly, transformation.
What is up, guys? Sophia here, and I am back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the woman that is worth more than rubies and what happens when a man is not able to recognize her worth, okay? So before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all my videos. Also, don't forget to check the description box where I put my Patreon in there, as well as some other useful information that I may mention in this video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get right on into it, shall we? All right, now before we get into the video, I've been talking about the role of men and women lately, and I had just posted a video about Fantasia and the art of submission, because I kind of feel like a lot of women are holding up their role. We are being the type of woman that God requires us to be, but we don't really research the type of man that some of these men need to be. And this kind of expands on the woman that is worth more than rubies. And so where this Bible verse stems from, it comes from Proverbs 31. I'm going to start from 10 and I'm going to go to 11. So an excellent woman, one who is spiritual, capable, intelligent, and virtuous, who is he who can find her? Her value is more precious than jewels, and her worth is far more above rubies or pearls. So when we think about the aspect of a ruby, I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, and ruby is actually more rarer than a diamond, right? I know everybody wants a diamond, but a ruby is actually more rare. And then even when we think about the aspect of a pearl, where do pearls come from? They come from clams, right? Or oysters, whatever. And so you are digging deep down in the bottom of the sea, because the pearl takes a while to make. You have to hope that the pearl has reached the perfect maturity rate, that it's the perfect size pearl, that it is the perfect, type of quality, but you might go through a whole bunch before you finally reach the right one. So you need to understand that what God is talking about is he's talking about a woman that is rare. She is precious, she is expensive, not in terms of monetary means, but in terms of the value that her cost is very high and what a man is supposed to be giving her. And that's just not money. But if I can't just go in and buy the top quality diamond with no money just because I'm me. No, I have to be able to afford it, right? I have to, in order to do that, and if I afford it, I have to have a certain type of lifestyle, meaning that they have to be a certain type of man and character, and as far as how they manage their life, in order to have a gem like that. They have to be willing to recognize a gem like that, right? So a lot of the times when women are like, oh, I'm the Proverbs 31 woman, but he doesn't appreciate it, then guess what? He's just simply not your buyer. So when I say he's not your buyer, what exactly do I mean by that? And let's put this in a metaphor. You're the gem, right? And so let's say that you are in the jewelry store as a gem, and there's a whole bunch of other gems among you, because that's how it is in the jewelry store. Let's say some of the gems are fake gems. They're cubic zirconias. Some of the gems are like your A+ gems. Some of them are C, D, or F gems. They have flaws and they have blemishes. And let's say the buyer, aka the man, comes in and he starts picking up and buying the cubic zirconias, right? And then you're like, oh my God, I wanted him to pick me. I'm mad. Can't he see what a precious gem I am? No, he can't, because he doesn't have the trained eye to understand what a gem is. If you are a gem collector, then from the naked eye, you should be able to tell the real from the fake. If you cannot, then that says something about him, that he cannot determine what good quality is and what bad quality is. And that is not due to your reflection as a woman. That should be because of the type of man he is. So what I am telling you is that if he doesn't recognize your worth and you feel like, okay, I'm a woman worth more than rubies, and he is picking all these lesser gems over me, That's because he does not have the trained eye. He is not classy enough. He does not have enough exposure or training or enough discernment to understand what a real and a fake is. And to him, all of it is the same. And if he can compare a $5 cubic zirconia to a $20,000 gem and think that they are the same, then he don't deserve you no way, because he will not be able to recognize your worth. So don't get mad over men choosing other women over you and you feel like they're lesser women. Get glad because he wasn't worthy of you anyway, because he don't know the difference between what a good and a bad woman is, and he would not have appreciated you, and he just would have abused you anyway. He would have just been like, oh, this is the same as this plastic gem. This is the same as all the other women. And you want somebody to understand that you are a woman above all the rest, and he is lucky to find you. So when we talk about the aspect of find, I actually want to kind of read back the Bible verse in verse 10 where it says, who is he who can find her? So mind you, he is supposed to be finding you, not the other way around. And so it's like, if you are a woman that is worth more than rubies and you want a particular type of man, and let's say his life is completely hood and ratchet, he don't have his stuff together, he's living with his mom and he don't have no money, and he wants to sit up here and live off your behind. He wants you to do everything. He wants you to be his mom, his provider. He's just giving forth the minimal effort. Why are you with him? Because it's like a lot of women, oh, I need to be his ride or die. I need to help. I need to prove. I need to make. I need to push. No, you don't need to do that. You need to sit in your case and you need to be a gem. And if you are not the level where you are at the top gem yet, like the pearl, when it talks about, oh, the pearl, okay, it has to reach the certain level of maturity. It has to sit up in the oyster or whatever, and it has to like do whatever it does in there in order to become the perfect pearl. Then maybe you need to focus on becoming that instead of chasing, a man who does not know your value. Why would you, if you are A+ type of gem with the highest quality and clarity and you're absolutely the most beautiful, sit here and say, oh, I am worth $20,000, but because this buyer cannot afford me and I want him to afford me, let me lower my price to $1 so that he can take me home. Why? So if he is not in a position where he has leveled himself up as a man in order to be able to afford a gem like you as the gem, you don't lower your quality, you don't lower your price, you just wait for the right buyer to come in that is able to give you that sort of thing, because the right buyer has looked everywhere for the perfect gem. The right buyer has been in the ocean, swimming around, looking among all the little things, opening them up, trying to find the right pearl, saying which one is the right one. He has been searching everywhere for you, and as soon as he sees the gem in the case, he is going to say, that is what I'm looking for. And guess what? I've been saving up for this. I can afford her. I've been working on my life. I have a job. I've been preparing for a wife. I know that right now, here and now, that I can pay in cash this money in order to bring this gem home with me. She doesn't have to diminish her value. She doesn't have to diminish her worth. She don't have to go on sale. She don't have to do any of that. He already knew what the price was, and therefore he had been preparing beforehand to save up in order to go get that gem, so that when he found her, he can take her and appreciate her. Nobody's gonna pay that much for a gem and say, oh, now that I got you home, let me stomp on this $20,000, $50,000 gem and throw it up against the wall. Why? When he's put in so much work to find the specific type of woman, he's going to cherish that person. And this is what I kind of talk about in the Fantasia video when it talks about submission. No, but he's cherishing the gem. So it's like, why wouldn't you submit to somebody who is like treating you like a freaking queen and is absolutely proud of you and absolutely feels like, oh, I have the best thing since sliced bread and I have really saved up for this and I honor and I cherish this because this is something that I really wanted. They're not going to abuse you. All right, and another point that I want to get into is when we talk about the treatment of the gem, right? And I know this is getting very metaphorical, but you're gonna have to stick with me, okay? So like, let's say you are once again in this case and you are amongst all the other gems, and a man comes in and he's like, wow, I really do like this gem. Wow, I really can afford this gem. However, I saw another gem just like it somewhere else and I don't know which one to pick. So hey, maybe I need to go look back at that gem, come back and look back at this gem, and come back and look back at the other gem and see which one I want to get. Now, mind you, whether he's a good man or a bad man, he can afford you or not, that's not the point. The point is, he has a right to do whatever it is that he wants to do, right? But ultimately, as the gym, he better be lucky that when he gets back that you're still there. As a matter of fact, hopefully you're not there because another buyer who is sure that you are his particular gem has snatched you up. So when we talk about a woman being worth more than rubies, even if you feel like, oh, well, I found a really good man, but he's still dating, he's still seeing other women, he's not really sure if he wants to commit, and he's not sure if he wants to settle down. And so it's like, okay, you can take that chance if you want to. And if you're willing to let go of the perfect gem and take the chance that when you're out shopping or window shopping looking for something better, that I'm gonna still be here, go ahead, because I promise you that I probably won't still be here. So never hold up your life and start waiting for somebody to see your worth or your value, or to try to commit to you, or wait for them to commit to you, or wait for them to figure out what it is that they're going to do. No, you're not waiting on anybody. You're going to put yourself back on the shelf. And if he comes back, you hope that A, you better hope that you're still there. And B, even if you are still there, your price might have gone up. You might have been a $20,000 gem before, and by the time he comes back, you worth $100,000 now he can't afford it. So it's like, if any man wants to take the chance and walking out and leaving you where you are, then understand that he's taking the chance that somebody else might snatch you up. And for me, it's like, if you're willing to take that chance, then I don't know if I want you anymore, because I feel like somebody would be able to recognize my worth at onset. And if you're not able to do that, then I don't know what to tell you, because plenty of my exes came back and I'm like, guess what? The price has now gone up because I have continued to level up myself. I continue to date better. I continue to improve. When you read the whole Proverbs 31 woman, these are all the traits that you should seek to be in yourself. And the higher and the higher and the higher that you go, as I said in my Chase Purpose and Not Men video, the higher that you go, the more that your value drives up. And then by the time some of these men come back, you're like, wow, I don't want to date you anymore because my price has gone up and I have better buyers. I'm looking at better buyers and it ain't you. All right, guys, so that was super fun. I definitely hope that you got the metaphorical context of the whole gym and all that other type of stuff. I really hope that resonated with y'all. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check the description box, because like I said, I'm definitely going to link some other videos that you guys would be interested in watching. And I will see you guys another day, another time. Bye, y'all.